What the hell's he doing next to my Benjamin?
I have come bearing a message. Great Britain sought taxes from the colonies, and they paid for their greed with blood. Now, do you understand the price of avarice?
Take him out.
I done took him out, didn't I?
Yeah, you really took him out.
I knew I took him out.
Oh,
Hey YouTube. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is one of the greatest shows on television. So I guess this is my first vlog. I last week got over 100 subscribers. I actually wasn't really paying attention because I was producing the Mosey Nagant series. The last bit, the part 3 of the Mosey Nagant series from Thursday to about Monday-ish, which is when I uploaded it, I think. So I know that 108 subscribers is really nothing to write home about, but I feel that it was just a good landmark to discuss things that were going on, like with the channel, because as you, the viewer and the subscriber, I feel that you deserve to know what's going on. I'm going to try and be transparent. For example, I'm going away to college again. I'm going back for sophomore year very soon, so this will probably be the last video you'll see from me in quite some time. I actually do go shooting with my college pals at Brandeis. That's the university that I attend, and it's a small liberal arts Jewish school. I'm not Jewish, I'm not religious at all, but actually half the population there isn't Jewish. So I'm just there for the academics. And, you know, for the viewers and subscribers, you know, I just want to document right here, right now, that you guys make this YouTube experience as much a learning experience for me as it is perhaps for you. Because every time you leave me a comment, a PM, you know, you tell me what I did right, what I did wrong, well, you know, things I did extremely well. You know, that kind of thing. Whenever you do that, I learn a bit more about making these videos, and therefore it becomes an exchange both ways, and that's why I feel these vlogs are perhaps a good thing to have. So this being the first vlog, I guess I'll talk about myself a bit. I'll introduce myself. I'll talk about the channel, and then actually I have a couple questions for you guys. So I guess I'll talk about myself for starters. My name is Charles. I'm 19 and a half years old as of the making of this video. I attend university, as I previously mentioned, at Brandeis in Boston, near Boston, Massachusetts. And I'll talk about that a bit later. But ever since I was a kid, I've had an interest in military firearms and military history, you know, a bit more broad. But, you know, I just knew. I can't pinpoint an exact reason why. I suppose, you know, video games, movies, that kind of thing. I played Airsoft for a long time. This is my Airsoft gun. It's a Star G36C. It's one of the last ones I have left. I sold off the others. You know, I just keep it for old time's sake, just in case some friends want to go airsofting, that kind of thing. But, you know, just video games. Call of Duty 1 got me really interested in World War II and World War II firearms. I saw Saving Private Ryan as a kid, that kind of thing. So, you know, that explains my interest in how I got into military history, military firearms. So, actually, when I went to Brandeis, and since, you know, like I said, it's a very liberal school, a very small liberal school, naturally the conservative population would be even smaller, which is how I, a rising sophomore, got to be president of my club. So, one of the joys of being president of a conservative club is that, you know, for one, you get to debate, which I love. I love a good fight, argumenting, you know, arguing, that sort of thing. But we also, before I was in college, before I attended university there, they started up this thing called a semesterly range shoot. And what happens is anyone that's interested, we send out a mass email to everyone that's on our list server, and people that want to go shooting, you know, reply back, I would like to come first serve. And it's just a joy, an absolute joy, because I'm the only one at our school, besides security, that knows, like, you know, diddly squat about firearms. I happen to know a lot, personally. You know, I'm not bragging, I just happen to know a lot. And it's just a joy to take these folks shooting, mostly pistols, you know, a couple lower-end rifles, like 9mm carbines, 30 carbine. And it's just a joy to watch them, like, you know, you teach them. Because, for example, I had one and I have a lot of these videos posted up on my channel too, look them up. But a lot of these folks, like, you know, they ask you questions, legitimate questions, like, why do you need more than 10-round, you know, capacity magazines? Why do you, and you just get to answer them with, you know, actual facts, not bumper sticker arguments, but actual facts, and facts that you can back up by stepping up to the range and aiming at a target downrange. And you know, when people learn to shoot and they shoot properly, shoot safely, and they start landing hits center of mass, on a target, those classic FBI targets with a thug aiming a revolver at you. They're, especially girls and women, their self-confidence shoots through the roof, and it's just an absolute joy to watch. Because for example, a lot of these girls, these women, they don't know anything about guns, and they don't have that attitude, that cocky guy, oh, I have a pair, I know how to shoot a gun. That sort of attitude, they don't have that. And when they start landing, center of mass shots, there's just no better feeling in the world. So I created this channel in 8th grade in 2006, which explains why it has the very lame name of something 01992. And it more or less was just a viewing channel until I uploaded my first video in 2009 of me shooting a Yugoslavian SKS. The first real videos that I uploaded were in August of 2008. Those were range videos, actually, of me and some friends, Trevor and Matt, who you know from recent videos, at Danbury, in Danbury, Connecticut, shooting at targets. And I just want to say that I had a lot of ammo nicked off me, stolen from me, when I was shooting at that range. All my 223 was basically stolen. So I guess I'll talk a bit about the channel. My first review was in December of 2010, and that was on the Carcano 91/41. I decided to do that because, one, I just purchased it at that time, and and also there weren't a lot of videos at the time on the Carcano rifle. It just wasn't a very showcased rifle on YouTube, so I decided to do a review, and it turned out to be very long, like 40 minutes long, thereabouts. And so I just decided from there on out I would do things in 3 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3. And you guys know how that turned out. It actually came out quite well, I think. The first 3-part review series was on the Mauser Kar98K. I spent months and weeks on that thing. I started off right after I finished the Carcano review into January, the end of Christmas break, and I kept working on it through February break when I came back from school, and then I finished it in spring break, April, and then I released it. And then the YouTube user Kiwi Ted Fernie favorited that video, part 1, and I received a ton of comments, a ton of subscriptions. So that's really, I guess, when my channel started to get noticed. And that's really where I stand just about today. The biggest revisions that I've made, in addition to introducing the 3-part series, the biggest revision I've made to that is that in part 3, I originally talked about mechanics and history, but what happened was in part 3 of the Kar98K video, I discussed mechanics so much that I neglected history, and it just turned out poor, which is kind of a shame in my opinion, because part 1 was done so well because I spent so much time on it. Part 2 as well. And I learned my mistakes. I learned what I did wrong. Because I have a tendency to ramble and include a lot of extra information that really isn't needed. So I just streamlined the entire procedure. I trimmed the fat off the videos, and that's when I released the Mosin Nagant videos, which I think is a highly, not highly, but just a refined version, a streamlined version with the fat trimmed off of it, and with lessons learned from the Kar98K, which leads me to where I am now, to where I want to take the channel. I don't know what I'm going to do for my next review, to be honest, but my current plans have that around holiday season, December, when I get back from for Christmas break from university. I'm going to do a review on my newest acquisition, the M1 Garand. I'm just going to load it up with some dummy shells that I bought off Gunbroker. Excellent rifle. I love it. I need to zero it still, but, So, there we have that. That's where I want to go, holiday season of 2011. And, which leaves me to you guys. What do you want to see next? Do you want to see a particular firearm? I already promised an individual a review on the Type 38 Arisaka. The problem was, number one, I just ran out of time. I spent the last couple days saying goodbye to friends because we're all here for the summer. Now we're going back to our colleges, so I've just been hanging out with them. And you know, with the Type 38 Arisaka, there just isn't a lot of, you know, there isn't a lot of literature on them, books, in English at least, that I'm aware of. I just haven't found enough material to make an effective review up to the same quality as the others that I've made thus far, which is the reason why I haven't done the Type 38 yet. Whereas the M1 Garand, I already have books on it. But what do you want me to see? What do you want to get out of this channel? Do you want more firearms reviews, 3-part review series? Do you want more range videos? Do you want do you want a specific firearm? You've already seen every firearm in my collection. I have some friends out there with M1 carbines. I have, you know, friends with AR-15s. I have one friend with a Sporter 1903 Springfield. What do you want to see? I have my neighbor has a Lee Enfield. So which one of those, you know, which fire, do you have a particular request? I want to know. If you do have a request, send me a PM or leave it in the comments section. Also, my next firearms purchase, I plan on being a British Lee Enfield, a British or a Lithgow or Ishapur or whatever. Now, I'm divided between SMLE and number 4 Mark 1. I'm leaning towards the SMLE because my neighbor already has a number 4 Mark 1. And because I can cover both world wars with that one rifle. But let me know what you think. I'm open to persuasion of all types. You know, other things I consider, should I get a MOS 36, you know, if time, you know, funds permit? And what should I get into reloading? You know, because I have limited funds, what should I do first? Reloading, SMLE, MOS 36? Do I have an AR-15 lower build? Should I spend $500 buying an upper? So which one of those should I do first, basically? Which one do you want to see? And I'll be happy, you know, with any of those options. So don't take my happiness into consideration. Take yours. And that's about it for this video, as far as I can think. So, yep. Okay. Have a good one.